When your phone rings, you might think you know who's calling. Caller ID tells you the number, but do you really know? Can you be sure who's on the other end of the line?
Hello?
It appears that you are now eligible for interest rates as low as 6.9%.
This is a call from the Social Security Administration.
Hi, Grandpa. It's me. I really need your help.
You have to just go to your bank and withdraw all the money from your bank accounts as cash.
Hi, this is Donna with Card Services.
And what is the exact amount you have in your account?
Or had calls like these?
I don't know if I want to give you my money.
Oh, no. Who told you that you are giving me your money? You are not going to give your money to anyone. Mr. Johnson, if you have that thing in your mind, please take that out of your mind. No. It's just that, Mr. Johnson, we want to safeguard your money.
Caller ID is a useful tool, but can you rely on it?
Hello, this is Officer Smith from the San Diego Sheriff's Office. You can call us back at your earliest convenience. End of messages.
Have you heard of call spoofing? Spoofing is a technique scammers use to pretend to be someone else on your phone's caller ID. With today's technology, it couldn't be easier.
If I can fake the number, then I can make you believe I'm calling from anywhere. I can call you from the White House.
In this video, we'll meet a woman who was victimized by a fake jury duty scam. The caller told her he was from the San Diego Sheriff's Department, that she had failed to show up for jury duty, there was a warrant for her immediate arrest, and she faced jail unless she paid a fine right away. She knew it sounded fishy, but the caller was so persuasive. He had both the right information and the psychological tactics to get her to take action.
This is what you're gonna do, how you're gonna pay me, and it's gonna be like the $989.
And we'll meet the scammers who took her from inside a Georgia prison cell. That's right, state prisoners were running a ring using contraband cell phones to reach out across the country for victims. Using easily downloaded apps, they could make any number appear on the caller ID of the victim's phone, completely disguising that they were behind bars all the way across the country.
Can you give me his current phone number?
415.
Kai Miller's story could happen to anyone.
It was a Saturday, and I was at home, and I picked up my home phone rang. Hello? So I see on the little caller receiver, it says San Diego Sheriff's Office. And it was a man, and he basically just started in on a spiel about me. There's a warrant for your arrest. You never came to jury duty. So I'm like, okay, well, there must be some clerical error. He's like, so he was very friendly, very nice. He said, well, I'm really sorry, but I want to try and help you with this. My system down here at the sheriff's office is showing there's 2 warrants for you not complying with jury duty. Unfortunately, it's a Saturday. If we don't take care of this fine, the sheriffs could show up at your house or find you at any point and you'd be put in jail. I kind of pushed on him. Not kind of, I did. I was like, this is scam. This is not right. I'm not sure who you are. I wanted to speak to somebody above you. This just doesn't make sense to me. So he said, no problem. I'm going to give you a phone number. Call it back. I'm going to have you speak to my superior. So I call back the phone number he gives me. Sure enough, it says San Diego Sheriff's Department. I hit #3 like he had told me before. And it was, hi, this is Captain Dwight Garrison. As he's talking to me, I'm on my computer and I'm like, I'm gonna Google this. And I was like, I'm gonna Google. So as I'm Googling, he doesn't know I'm Googling. And sure enough, Dwight Garrison is our captain of the San Diego Sheriffs. And I thought, So that kind of gave me like pause. I was like, okay. And the phone number came up, caller ID, the first one of San Diego Sheriff's Office. I keep talking to him and he's basically just, if you can take care of this one fine, you're not going to jail. We'll clear it up in the morning on Monday when the courts are open. And I thought, okay, well, you know, this is ridiculous. This isn't right, but maybe I should. And what scared me and just, oh my God, was so scary was the fact that I cannot go to jail. And courts aren't open till Monday. So if you don't pay this, you will come to jail Saturday and have to stay Saturday night and Saturday night. So you'll be in jail for 2 days. It was just scary. So basically, I followed his instruction. And he tells me, get in the car. And we talked about which location. You could go to a Walmart. You could go to a CVS. And he said, basically, there's 2 fines. If you can go and pay me today, the one fine, I can lift the second. And we'll take care of this all on Monday. And so, of course, during this conversation, I'm like, can I call a friend? Can they go with me? I'm not comfortable. Nope, can't hang up, can't hang up. We don't want to drop this line. You know, I don't want you to get in, you know, something to happen. And if we get disconnected, the sheriff could come. A little fear factor, but it was subtle. It was very friendly, subtle. So on the phone, he instructs me, do not drop this call. Drive there, we don't have to talk, but just let me know you're there. How far away are you? La, 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 la. So I'm driving, nervous, cell phone, speaker on the console. I let him know I get there. He tells me, you know, go in there. This is what you're gonna do, how you're gonna pay me. And it's gonna be like the $989, I think he said. Don't let anyone know that I'm on the phone. Fill everything out. Once you do that, you're gonna go back to your car and give me the number. They were very professional. They used a lot of jargon as far as legal terms, penal codes, just legal stuff that I wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, they did their homework. They did their homework. And it was despicable, but they did it.
Jesse Lopez and Joseph Tate are prisoners at Autry State Prison in Georgia. Lopez was the researcher and call opener, and Tate was the closer. Here they are at work, filmed by an undercover informant placed in their cell.
Go ahead and present your ID and let them know that you'd like to just...
A raid by authorities found thousands of contraband cell phones in Autry alone, smuggled in by visitors and corrupt guards, and even dropped over the fence by drones. In one cell block, 65 of 90 prisoners had phones. With a smartphone, prisoners could use the internet to research law enforcement and court websites anywhere in the country, so they'd know what to say to sound credible. They researched neighbors for victims, and with simple phone apps, they could make your local sheriff's department phone number show up on your phone, like they did with Kai. Cybersecurity expert Chris Hadnicki helps large corporations defend against hacks and technology theft.
Caller ID is not a secure method of protection. When you see caller ID coming up, it can be spoofed for easy or free. It is definitely not a way that you want to trust the identity on the other person on the other end of the phone. Person to person, we verify based on body language and facial expression if we can trust. But on the phone, we don't have that privilege. So we can only verify it based firstly on caller ID. Now, once our brain says, okay, pick up the phone, verification is based on how we feel about the conversation. So if you tell me you're calling from a police station, and in the background I hear noise that sounds like a police station, my brain doesn't question your statement. An attacker, a smart attacker, is trying to get you to trust without verifying.
We asked Chris to show us how easy it is to spoof caller ID.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm looking up, just as an example, since we're in Orlando, the Orlando Police Department.
Right.
And I'm grabbing a publicly known number. So I see this number here. I'm putting it into my spoofing software. I'm saving it, and now I'm calling you. As simple as that is, that took all of 60 seconds. And what will happen is the number that comes up on your phone will be the literal Orlando Police Department's phone number.
Okay.
If you were to hang up and call that number back, you would get the Orlando Police Department.
Well, let's do that.
Okay, so...
let me do that real quick. So what I'm doing is I'm calling back the number you just gave me, spoofing the Orlando Police Department, see if it really is the Orlando Police Department.
You have reached the Orlando Police Information Desk. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
So that's it.
And this is an attack that happens. So people will say, how do I know if you're from there? The attacker says, okay, look, hang up, call that number back. You'll hit a main switchboard. You can't get directed to me because I have an internal extension. I'll call you back in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Person hangs up, they call, they get the message you just heard.
Right.
Now the attacker calls back and it just seems legitimate.
Can you look up the Internal Revenue Service and try that?
Yes, we can. Just seeing if that one comes up.
What is this number now?
The White House.
This is the White House.
I'm calling you from the White House.
Okay. Let's see if we call that number back, what happens. Okay, so now I'm dialing the number you just called.
Thank you for calling the White House comment line.
And here's the part of the attack that helps build the trust, is because I can call you to make it look like from any number. And then if you were to call that number back, you get the real office.
Yeah.
And if I call you back again from that number, you now go, okay, yeah, this must be RIP because I just called it and it is the IRS.
Here's how easy it is to spoof caller ID. Using only a smartphone and just one of many widely available apps, you can appear to call from any number you want. Plus, you can add various types of background noise.
Yeah, how about a hot call registration, Illinois 83, 3401 Windows.
You can even change your voice.
Hello, this is Investigator Johnson.
Hello, this is Investigator Johnson.
Hello, this is Investigator Johnson.
It's just that easy for anyone to hide who they really are on the phone.
1333, clear.
2 years after her encounter, Kai was asked by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney in Georgia to testify against the con artist who ripped her off. Although she was eventually able to get her money back from her bank, she was eager to help fight this fraud, and she flew across the country to appear in court. For real this time.
I mean, my personal view is just, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to stand up and say, you know, this did happen to me. You know, don't have shame in it. It happens, you know, but do something positive from it that hopefully will help somebody down the road.
Kai Miller is part of the AARP fraud fighters across the country, informing our members about scams and fighting back against the cons. You can help too. For more information on how to protect yourself from frauds and scams, visit AARP's Fraud Watch Network website at aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork and consider signing up to become a fraud fighter. You'll receive regular alerts on the latest scams and become part of a vigilant army of fraud fighters who are saying no more to con artists, criminals, and thieves. And here's a final tip from Chris Hadnicki.
So here's what I tell people that ask me, like my friends and my family. So you get a call from, it says, my bank is calling me. And I pick up the phone because it says my bank, and the person says, hey, we have a transaction here we need to verify. We need to get your social security number to verify this transaction can be released. I say, okay, I'll call you back. And they go, oh, here's my number. No, I have the number for the bank. No problem. I hang up on that call. I give them nothing. I call my bank with the real number that I know, not the one that they gave me. I take my credit card out of my wallet. I turn it over. I call the toll-free number on the back. I say, hey, I just got a call from someone saying they're from the bank. You're trying to verify a transaction. Now, if the guy says, yep, that was us, great. I just did the right thing. If they say, hey, we never called you, we don't know what that was, I just saved myself from being hacked. And it took 60 or 90 seconds extra out of my life. That's it. I didn't go shut down my accounts and, you know, call the FBI and do all sorts of things. I just had a little bit of paranoia that allowed me to take an action that saved me from being breached.
Remember, con artists with skills in technology can be very persuasive on the phone. With knowledge of how phone scammers work, you can spoof-proof your life and protect yourself and your loved ones from devastating frauds.